In more terrible news for Quadriga's, or however you pronounce that, Quadriga CX, the Canadian crypto exchange that was basically a complete fraud. NPR, National Public Radio, is actually covering this, npr.org. Crypto mystery, Quadriga's wallets are empty, but fate of the $137 million, putting the fate of $137 million in doubt. Now remember, the story was that this 30-year-old CEO was traveling to India to help an orphanage, and he mysteriously died from complications with Parkinson's, I believe. Or was it, what was it? Not Parkinson's, it's actually in here. In this, I remember reading it as I decided, yeah, I think I want to do this. 30-year-old down here. Crohn. It was Crohn's disease. Let me open this thing up real quick. All right, so I said immediately, guys, I haven't even really read the story. I kind of heard the headline. This is fraud. There's not a chance in hell this guy died at the age of 30 from any complications of anything, to be honest with you. Happens to go to an area within the country of India that's known for faking deaths and issuing death certificates. Okay? Fake deaths. And you wouldn't dare take the private keys to your company's crypto wallets with you while you're going over there, when you got a freaking operation to run back home. And you would need access for your employees or some certain people, upper management, whatever, to go into those wallets and pull coins out in case people are starting to want to withdraw their coins. Because typically an exchange doesn't keep all the crypto wide open on the exchange for you and I, whoever, to deposit or withdraw. They take a fraction of that chunk, leave that on the exchange, and then put the rest of it in cold storage. That's safe practice in case they get hacked. Well, the stuff on cold storage is safe. And they can see from simple reports, okay, a lot of people wanting to withdraw a certain coin today. Let's pull a little more, let's open the safe and pull out the old cold storage and move them over to our main wallet, our hot wallet or whatever. That's what they were doing. That's what all exchanges do. You would not take private keys to those things. Oh, we don't know where. And again, the guy's partner, who has a different name, he's a fraudster, was busted years ago, as you'll find out as I read more of this article to you. The money was there, it was just locked away. At least that's what Quadriga CX cryptocurrency exchange has been saying, before an auditor revealed that it had finally accessed digital wallets set up by Quadriga's late CEO, Mr. Gerald Cotton, and that instead of holding $137 million, the wallets, get ready for a shocker, were empty. And not only were they empty, they were drained in 2018. 6 cold wallets Quadriga used to securely store cryptocurrency offline were expected to hold millions. But they were emptied out in April, as in last year, April, months before Cotton's death was reported, bringing the balances down to, well, nil. Nothing, audit firm Ernst & Young has said. The news furthers the frustrations of Quadriga's 115,000 users who have been unable to withdraw their money, much of it in the form of Bitcoin, from the troubled exchange. And in a new twist, an auditor says the company was also found to have created what looked to be like more than a dozen fake accounts. Quadriga has been under debt protection from its creditors since February 5th, by order of the Supreme Court of Nova Scotia. The court also appointed Ernst & Young to the role of monitor to sort out how much money the exchange still has and where it should go. In a recently published report to the court, Ernst & Young says that only one of those wallets, which it calls the 6th wallet, is that like the 6th sense? 5 and then 6, the 6th wallet. No, I done lost my spirit. Okay. Which it calls the 6th wallet, stayed in regular use after April, apparently used to receive Bitcoin from another cryptocurrency exchange and then transfer that Bitcoin to Quadriga's hot wallet. That's used for quick turnaround withdrawals and payments. So here's the interesting part of that. It didn't say there's transactions showing the other cold wallets going to the sixth cold wallet, let's say, and then the sixth cold wallet going to their hot wallet on the exchange. It only came from the other exchanges. And this is back in 2018. So it was pulling Bitcoin or whatever cryptos it needed from some other exchange to put on its hot wallet. In other words, I don't know that this exchange was ever putting stuff on cold storage. It was using another exchange to do all the transactions. It probably had some kind of deal with another exchange and said, you know, give us like 50% off your trading fees. And they probably agreed, okay, fine. So Quadriga could charge the normal fee. Let's say it was 1%. They're getting a deal from another exchange at 0.5%. All is fine. So all the users of Quadriga are issuing crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, to Quadriga. They're taking the damn thing, transferring that to their cold wallets and running off with it, and then letting the day-to-day transactions just be dealt with through this other third-party exchange. And they, again, have access to that third-party exchange until they did it. Until too many people were wanting to pull their crypto out, right? And I bet people were getting nervous in December, right? This is when the whole story came up. Oh, he died, our guy died, the CEO died, we can't get access. And that's the same time the whole story was getting pushed around the internet about the proof of coins. Hey, if you got money, if you got crypto in exchange, take all your crypto out. Let's force these exchanges to be compliant and legit and all that, right? It's going to be January 3rd. That's the final day. Okay. But people, you know, aren't going to wait till the last minute because everyone's thinking, well, what if my exchange is the last one out, I'm the last one out the exit? I'm going to be in trouble if my exchange is a fraud. So people were already pulling their stuff out in December. So I bet people were pulling enough out of Quadriga in December that it caused them to realize, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We don't have the crypto. The game's up. Go with, plan A. Fake the death and all that nonsense. When the Monitor asked Quadriga's remaining representatives why the company had stopped depositing Bitcoin into its cold wallets last spring, they were unable to name a reason. Ernst & Young says it's researching any external accounts Quadriga might have had on other exchanges. In another unsettling detail, Ernst & Young also learned that 14 user accounts had been created outside the normal process by Quadriga, apparently using aliases and bogus funding. Now, what does that mean, bogus funding? Are we talking wash trades and fake nonsense? And again, if they're doing it, which other exchanges are doing it and just haven't had to close down yet? Those accounts were internally created without a corresponding customer and used to trade on the Quadriga platform. So let me go here with you. You don't think the exchange owners of Quadriga, who get to see all trades, the entire order book, they know if you have a stops in place, stops in case the market gets dropped down on you, your stops trigger, they set your coin sell off, or the vice versa, the market runs up, maybe you have stops, whatever to buy. They have access to all the records because it's their freaking exchange. You don't think they were using these fake accounts to push things up and down on their exchange, to clean people out, trigger stop orders, and the same, that kind of stuff? I'm going to say they most likely did. They were internally created without corresponding customer, whatever. Okay. Transaction histories of those accounts shows a significant amount of volume of activity, the Monitor said, including trading and withdrawals of cryptocurrency to wallet addresses not associated with Quadriga. The firm says it's still analyzing those accounts and hopes to learn whether deposits into them were somehow faked, how much was withdrawn from Quadriga's reserves, and where the money wound up. I don't know that those deposits were fake. I think those deposits were coming from their customers, and they were taking it out, withdrawing it elsewhere. They probably had some kind of deal set up with some exchange in some, who knows what other country, and they laundered the money, the crypto, through the other exchange. That's probably what you're going to find, okay? There's no way in hell they sold it to themselves in their own exchange. No. They got to go outside the country. And where did they die again? Oh, India. Where did the BitConnect scammers come from? Oh, India. Yeah, probably a coincidence. Cotton died in early December at age 30 without sharing the password for the laptop he used to handle nearly all of the exchange's business. Not what I'd like to know, if it's even possible to find out. I mean, it is. Anyone got a birth certificate from this guy? Anybody have, anyone seen the guy? Has he been in a video? You know, does anyone know who this guy is? Did he really marry this lady? Or is it all fake paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Did he pull a Barack Obama birth certificate on us? Without sharing the password for the laptop he used to handle nearly all of the exchange's business, but it wasn't until January that Cotton's widow, Jennifer Robertson, well, his name's Cotton. Why is her name Robertson if she's married to Cotton? Oh, because she wasn't? It's a fraud? I'm going to throw that out there. But anyways, it wasn't until January that Cotton's widow, Jennifer Robertson, announced his death and said the company was trying to find a way to access accounts and digital wallets holding millions of dollars. Ernst & Young said it has hit roadblocks when it tried to analyze platform data that underpins Quadriga's exchange. That data is currently stored in the cloud with Amazon Web Services, and it's under Cotton's name, not the company's name. Even with Robertson's consent as his estate trustee, the firm said Amazon wouldn't allow it to access the data. That prompted the firm to seek a court order, which was in fact granted on Tuesday. Last month, Quadriga was initially given 30 days of protection, but the court gave the company 45 more days on Tuesday, and that time can be extended indefinitely as long as the monitor and the court are confident that the troubled exchange is doing its best to satisfy its creditors. What if the exchange is not doing its best and is continually trying to keep this fraud going or from being uncovered, which it's already too late? I told you, day one, this is a fraud. I knew it. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. If it looks like a chicken, walks like a chicken, and I guess hens like a chicken, it's a chicken. But Robertson is also being criticized for seeking nearly $225,000 from the embattled company for what Ernst & Young calls repayment for interim funding. In Quadriga's current cash flow forecast that was filed with the court, a payment in that amount, $300,000 in Canadian dollars, is labeled repayment of shareholder advances. When Robertson announced Cotton's death, she said he died due to complications with Crohn's disease while traveling in India, where he was opening an orphanage to provide a home and safe refuge for children in need. The extraordinary circumstances around Cotton's death and his encrypted laptop have fueled torrents of conspiracy theories, from claims that Cotton faked his own death to the possibility that his untimely death merely exposed a sort of Ponzi scheme. A Reddit section, which they link to, has devoted to the scandal, has drawn thousands of subscribers. The site also has served as a way for both the company and the court system to post updates on the case. Speculation about what happened to Quadriga's Bitcoin holdings has now reached a fever pitch. Even before Ernst & Young's concluded that wallets that were purported to be Quadriga's key Bitcoin reserve were actually empty, Canada's Globe and Mail newspaper published a story last week asserting that Quadriga co-founder Michael Petrin has used an alias to cover up his true identity as a convicted felon who served time in the United States for his role in an online identity theft ring. Citing court records in the U.S. and Canada, the Globe and Mail reported that it believes Petrin's true name is Omar Danini, which it is, by the way, that's him, he's the fraud, who served time in a U.S. prison after the Secret Service arrested him in California as part of an identity theft, credit card fraud, and money laundering ring in 2004. Danani, who court records said had used the name Omar Petrin as an alias, was later deported to Canada. And where's this exchange? Oh, that's right, it was in Canada. A month ago, Petrin told the newspaper that he had split with Quadriga more than 3 years ago, after disagreeing with Cotton's decision not to take the company public. When the Globe and Mail asked Petrin about its reporting on his identity, he replied that they were incorrect. But he didn't provide any new details, citing a need to speak with his attorney first. Lock this son of a gun up and everybody who committed this fraud against these people. We're trying to change the world, get off this rotten, disgusting, fraudulent, debt-ridden system currency, US dollars, Federal Reserve notes, interest, 5% home equity loan. We're trying to get rid of this crap, come up with a legitimate system, cryptocurrencies, and we have the effing criminals flooding over here to get in on some action, to fill their pockets, because they don't care about the system. They don't care about the old system. They don't care about new system. They're effing criminals, and they'll do anything to get their money. And they're using our awesome system, cryptos, to do it. Lock them up. Do whatever the full extent of the law allows for. Take care.